Good evening, and welcome to Newcastle After Dark. We are your hosts, the management.
Coming to you from the land of Russell Trucking and Miller's Shoe Store, bringing you films that are a feast for the mind.
Tonight's film is 1971's Blood and Lace. Not Blood and Black Lace,
Right.
but Blood and Lace, starring Gloria Grahame,
This has Melody Patterson
Vic Tayback,
and Len Lesser.
and it is a drive-in staple from back in the day.
Yeah. If you like the occasional grindhouse film, sometimes find them a little too over the top, this might be for you.
Yeah, this one's a little more palatable.
Yeah.
It still has some unsavory subject matter,
Yes, it does. Yeah.
but it's handled very well.
Yes, it is.
And this one was rated PG. Mm-hmm. And the big claim to fame to this was, wow, they rated this PG in 1971. Nowadays, this would be rated R+.
And what do they say? It's one of the sickest rated PG movies.
Yeah, which I think might...
That's a little over the top because this is not really over the top
Not at
in
all.
gore or nudity.
No.
It's the subject matter.
That's right.
Yes.
So, we think that you're ready for this one.
Yeah, definitely. So sit back, relax, and enjoy 1971's Blood and Lace.
What's wrong?
I had a bad dream.
Ellie, for heaven's sake.
Mr. Mullins, you've got to get this girl out of here.
I've arranged a place for her, nurse.
I didn't ask to come to your crummy hospital.
I'll stay with the nurse, please. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Why are you keeping me here? I'm not even sick.
It's the only place we could put you up temporarily.
I should have taken off right after the funeral. Well, it's not too late.
Ellie, you're still a minor.
I've got a father someplace, and I'm going to find him.
Of course you have a father, but you don't know who he is. No one knows who he is. Your mother knew, but she's dead. So as far as the court is concerned, you're an orphan.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm free to do what I want to do.
Ellie, you're under court order. You can't leave the county.
Are you going to stop me?
I'm a social worker, not a policeman. But if you try to leave, I'll have to report it to the sheriff.
Okay, Mr. Mullins. If that's the way you're going to be.
Look, you're an orphan now, and...
I was an orphan the day I was born. Maybe you didn't know my mother.
Yes, I did.
I bet you did. Every drifter and traveling salesman and schoolboy over 16 knew my mother.
Hold it. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you. Ellie, my name is Calvin Carruthers. You might know me. I used to work at the Bijou Theater. I used to see an awful lot of you every Saturday for the matinee.
How come you chased me?
How come you ran away?
I thought you were somebody else.
Well, I drive this road at night quite a bit since I changed jobs.
What's it got to do with me?
Well, with the theater closed, I went to work for the county sheriff. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it.
Mullins told you, didn't he?
Mullins told me you were having nightmares and that you were frightened. Well, consider what you went through. Ellie, I think I better take you back to the hospital. Come on.
You sure don't look like any sheriff I ever saw. Where's your uniform?
I'm a detective.
You sure got a strange way of doing things. How did a man like you ever get to become a detective?
I was an ordinary sheriff's deputy for a while. Then the detective we had died, but none of the married men wanted the job because of the hours. Well, I don't have anybody. That pays $50 a month extra.
Heaven help the county.
Anyway, I was going over your mother's case. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions, Ellie.
If you were any kind of detective, you'd have checked the report at the coroner's inquest. I told them everything.
All right. Now, you told the coroner that you were asleep in your room. Then you ran into the hall.
That's right.
Then you saw a man running out of your mother's room. This was all before you noticed that the fire was in the house.
That's right, Calvin.
Do you see a hammer in this man's hand?
No, I didn't see a hammer. I only see it in my nightmares.
Ellie. Ellie, did you ever see the man's face?
Yes. It was big and ugly. A lot like yours.
All right. This big, ugly face, did you ever see it before?
He was just another one of Mother's clients. Some drifter she picked up at the bar.
Ellie. All right, Ellie, this is important. Now, this man you saw, did he see your face? Did the killer see your face?
I guess he must have. Why?
Only because you're the only witness. He just might come back here looking for you. And not because you have a pretty face.
Are you trying to scare me?
No. But we don't know who the killer is or where he disappeared to.
Well, what if you never find him?
I don't know. But until we're through looking for him, you better not go anyplace by yourself.
Hiya, Calvin. Sorry I'm late.
Yes, Harold. Can I get you a beer?
No, thanks. You wanted to talk. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Harold. What do you and the County Welfare Bureau have in mind for, Ellie Masters?
Orphanage home. I'm taking her there tomorrow.
Ah. She sure is a pretty little thing, isn't she?
Yeah.
Looks a lot like her mother used to.
Yeah.
Poor Edna Masters.
Yeah.
Tell me, Harold, did you and Edna ever,
What the hell difference does that make?
Well, I doubt that any man in the county didn't.
Including you?
Well, not in a long time, not since she turned professional. And I acquired this. Where is this home you're taking Ellie to?
You know, the old Jameson Deere mansion.
Oh, come on, Harold. What's the matter with you? It's a killer loose. Now, Ellie could be...
No. Don't get dramatic, Calvin. You're not with the theater now. It's a perfectly safe place. When old Jameson died last year, the widow dear turned it into a nice home for kids. We made an agreement between her and the county, and it's worked out real good for everybody.
I bet it has.
Look, I inspect that house myself twice a year. It's neat as a pin, and the kids are healthy.
Ellie Masters is healthy now. I want to see to it that she remains that way.
Calvin, your interest in that girl wouldn't go beyond police duty, would it?
It might.
What makes you think she could ever be interested in you?
I didn't say she would or she could.
And I think you better keep your interest where it belongs.
You know, Harold, when you get to be my age and you start thinking seriously about getting married, you start sniffing around for some good breeding stock.
I suggest you do your sniffing in some other pasture, Calvin.
Now, assuming that you have a business deal with Mrs. Deere about directing county business her way.
Now, you hold on.
Which makes no difference to me, Harold. The point is, don't give me a lecture. When it comes to Ellie Masters, maybe neither one of us is strictly professional.
Like it here, boy? Sneaking out of the house at night, carrying a suitcase? Very suspicious behavior, Ernest. We don't like kids who try to run away from our home. Of course, if you aren't here, the county won't pay us. You get my drift, huh?
a 16-year-old boy and make a fool out of
I
him.
tell you, he just disappeared, vanished. He must have made it to the road.
You mean you were too drunk to look for him?
Well, it shows you I came pretty close to grab this. Anyway, it's only the first time one's gotten away.
Harold Mullins is coming here tomorrow with a new girl. He's going to inspect the place while he's here.
Oh, come off it, lady. You got old Mullins in your back pocket, or should I say under your skirt?
My relationship with Harold Mullins can only be pushed so far. When he counts the children tomorrow, there's going to be one missing.
You talk as if he really doesn't know what's going on here.
Whether he does or not, your boozing has cost me $150 a month.
Okay, you see, you lose money on earnest, but Mullins is bringing a girl, you see? Tit for tat.
We'd better set up the infirmary. And you, get rid of that suitcase.
Freezing.
Oh, that's the idea. Get going. We have 2 more.
Frozen solid.
It'll thaw out soon enough.
Come on, this thing is heavy. I think you and me are going to renegotiate our deal.
But get the others.
I mean it. You get $150 a month for each kid, and all I get is a hernia.
We'll talk about it later. The children will be up soon. Get going.
Okay, lady, we'll talk about it later, but just don't forget. I'm the only one who knows about your little secret.
What are you doing, Tom?
I'm working. Go back upstairs, Pete.
I want to get something to eat.
I said go back upstairs, do you hear me?
I didn't get enough supper.
If you don't go back upstairs, you'll never eat again.
Okay, don't get mad.
What took you so long?
I bumped into an old friend.
Go wash the liquor out of your breath. We've got a big day ahead of us.
Shh, quiet, Mrs. Dear. Loud talk frightens the children.
Oh, you are a foolish child, Alice. Trying to run away. What? Tom could have killed you with that knife. Lucky I got you to the freezer in time, or you might have bled to death.
Mr. Mullins. You seem awfully anxious to get me to this orphanage.
It's my job. Until you're 21, you're my responsibility.
Well, I got this funny feeling, like I used to get sometimes with my mother. Like you're trying to get rid of me.
So this is Ellie Mustard.
Ellie, this is Mrs. Deere.
Hello.
I heard about your mother's tragic.
Murder? Why, did you know my mother?
No, but my late husband spoke so highly of her. Tom, here's the new girl. Ellie, this is Tom Credge, our handyman.
He looks handy, all right.
Ellie, go out and get acquainted. Later, we'll get you settled in a room. Something rebellious about that girl. She's going to be trouble.
Oh, you can handle her. You do have a way with children.
Would you like to see the rest of the house, Harold?
Why not?
Hi.
Hi. Are you the new girl?
I suppose so.
My name's Blanche.
I'm Ellie. Does Mrs. Deere make everybody work like this?
She says we have to learn to pay our own way in life.
I thought the Welfare Bureau paid our way.
Oh, Mrs. Deere says it's not enough to take care of us, so she needs the extra income. Oh, that's, Walter Barnes. He's the oldest boy here. Mrs. Deere's pet.
He looks nice.
He's also my boyfriend.
I think I'll go over there and get acquainted with some of the other kids.
Jennifer tried to run away again. She's been locked in the attic as punishment. I don't suppose you want to see her.
Perhaps I better not. What I don't know won't hurt me.
Hey, it must be pretty tough for you, suddenly becoming an orphan like that.
Not really. I've got a father someplace.
I was born an orphan. I've been in and out of homes all my life.
That girl Bunch seems to be pretty nice.
Yeah, she's a cute kid.
Well, I don't think she'd like to hear you say that.
Why?
That isn't exactly, you know, the kind of thing a girl likes to hear from her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend? You gotta be kidding me. She's only 16. I'm nearly 21.
Poor Bunch.
What do you mean by that?
To be 16 and only a cute kid.
Well, the house looks fine, Dorothy, just fine.
I'm glad you're pleased, Harold. Why don't we step into my room and have a nice cup of tea?
Yeah, but first I want to count heads for my report.
Oh, of course, the count. I had the children stay outside so you could inspect. Oh, I almost forgot. We do have 3 in the infirmary.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing serious, I thought.
Just a little cold.
I suppose you'd like to see them?
Well, you know the regulation. You keep the infirmary locked?
Keeps the other children out and the germs in. Shh, they're sleeping, poor dears. Maybe you can just peek in. We don't want our welfare officer catching anything, do we?
Oh, tiptoe. On second thought, I don't want to catch anything. Might be fatal for a man my age. Let's see, there's 3 in the infirmary and 1 in the attic. Let's see the others outside. Now, this is serious, Dorothy. You sure you have no idea where this boy Ernest could be?
It's just terrible. No child's ever run away from my home before.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe I'd better notify the sheriff's office, huh?
Well, if they find him, he won't be sent to reform school, will he?
Well, I can use some influence.
It would be just terrible. I'd lose that income.
No. I'll do everything I can. Yeah.
I am so grateful to you, Harold.
You know, it's always a real pleasure doing business with you, Dottie.
Everybody sleeping? Everybody into the pool? My name is Ellie.
What are you doing here?
I'm exploring.
Nobody's allowed in the house during inspection. Get out of here.
Goodbye, Ellie. Be good.
Goodbye, Harold. Keep in touch.
I'll do that.
And now, we'll take care of you. The girls' rooms are on this side. The boys are over there.
How do you keep them apart?
With strict rules. When you unpack, we'll store your suitcase, since you won't be needing it.
Who's my roommate?
Oh, she's a nice girl. You'll have a lot in common.
It's me.
Bunch, this is Ellie Masters.
Sweet 16. We met.
Well, I see you 2 girls are going to get along just fine. Get settled, Ellie. Be down for dinner at 6 o'clock sharp. Latecomers aren't fed.
She's a motherly old bitch, isn't she? Maybe it won't be so bad. You know, Bunch, you and I do have something in common.
Well, I say that the police will catch Ernest and probably have him back by morning. Would you pass the rolls, please?
I bet he gets scared and comes back by himself.
Listen to Bunch, resident psychologist. What do you know about the way a man feels?
Not much, but I'm willing to experiment.
This boy Ernest was the first to run away, wasn't he?
Are you kidding? Runaway kids have run a regular path between here and the woods.
Well, that's funny. Mr. Mullins said that...
Don't worry about it. The cops will have Ernest back in the morning.
There just aren't enough children to keep the old place going. I know how important it is. The house, the tradition. I'll just have to cut down.
Those other kids, they must have gotten away.
Yeah, lucky for them.
Just because they weren't brought back here doesn't mean they weren't caught and maybe sent to reform school.
What happened to those 3 kids in the infirmary?
There hasn't been anybody in the infirmary for over a week.
I heard talking.
It's only a roll.
This is no restaurant. Those rolls have to last 3 days. I warned you, Pete. Now tomorrow you won't eat at all. As for you, Ellie, tomorrow will be the beginning of your chores. In this house, you earn your way. You'll start here and work your way down. Polish all the woodwork and the floors.
That'll take a week.
Next week, there'll be something else to do. We work hard in our house, Ellie. Chores, classes.
Well, when do we get a day off?
Sunday, you may do as you please. I can see you're not used to discipline, Ellie.
Oh, I've had my share.
I suppose things are always simpler when you're beautiful. I can remember. Oh, yes, I was beautiful once. My husband, Jameson, thought I was very, very beautiful. And then one morning, I looked in the mirror. And I was old. And Jameson had found other beautiful women. Women like your mother.
Well, they had a lot of company.
My husband was the only thing in my life that mattered. No children, no friends. Only Jameson. And then... Oh, but that's in the past. And you young people only concern yourselves with today.
And tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. Well, Ellie, I'll do my best to make sure that all your todays and your tomorrows are full. And then perhaps one day you too will look in the mirror.
Who are you? Jennifer. I'm thirsty. How long have you been here? I don't know. Days. Why? I tried to run away. I'm thirsty.
Where you going?
I'm taking this to the girl in the attic.
You want to keep her company?
Well, that girl's gonna die.
There's only one thing worse than trying to run away, kid. That's seeing things and saying things. You get my drift, then?
That's ridiculous.
Maybe. But it wouldn't hurt to give this place a good going over.
What do you mean, going over?
The search from top to bottom.
Excuse me. Oh, Tom, come here a minute. Tom, this is Detective Carruthers. Tom Kredge, my handyman.
Yeah, I've seen you around town.
Tom, Mr. Carruthers thinks Ernest might be hiding in the house.
Was that so?
He thinks the house ought to be searched. Didn't you say something about seeing Ernest that night he ran away?
Yeah, that's right. I saw him outside, kind of walking towards the road.
Did he have anything with him, like a bundle or a suitcase?
Yeah, a suitcase.
Oh, his belongings are gone. I can show you.
All right. I'd like to see Ellie Masters, Mrs. Deere.
She's in the kitchen. I certainly hope you find her mother's murderer.
So do I.
It's frightening having some maniac walking around loose.
Craig, let me see your hammer. Yeah. This is a fine tool. You know, I used to be able to, with one whack, drive a 16-penny nail to a couple of 2x4s.
Any carpenter worth his wage can do that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You get into town much now, Credge?
No, not much.
You know Edna Masters, don't you?
Yeah, I know her. So what?
I mean, as a carpenter or a customer?
I just saw her around town. She wasn't my type. Her daughter's something else. I'd like to take a crack at that. What the hell's the matter with you?
I don't like that kind of talk. Ellie happens to be a nice girl.
Yeah, sure she is. That's the way you like him, huh, officer? Nice and young?
Well, appears you made yourself a home.
Home? You mean workhouse?
It's like they say in jail. First week is the toughest.
That's a good comparison. What brings you here?
I'm checking out that runaway boy, Ernest.
Well, you're not going to find him. Any more than you'd find any of the others.
What others?
The other kids that ran away. Mr. Mullins tried to tell me that there weren't any. I know different.
Ellie, about your mother. I don't have any leads, but I do have some ideas.
What am I supposed to do? Wait around?
You going someplace?
Well, anything's better than this concentration camp.
Well, this is the safest place for you. We can keep an eye on you.
Well, you haven't exactly been keeping me company.
I've got an awful lot of cases to handle. But I'll be around.
Welcome back. Well, here we have the beginnings of our film, and the first thing that you may notice is the opening scene. It definitely inspired Halloween.
Yeah, the point of view of the hammer.
Yes.
In Halloween, of course, it's the knife.
Yes.
But I think they lifted that
Oh,
idea.
yeah, they definitely were inspired by it.
Yeah.
Now, you have the great Vic Tayback in this.
Yeah, I think most of us remember him from the television show Alice.
Yes, he played Mel.
Yeah, which was a great show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was also in Bullet with Steve McQueen.
Yeah, he was in Thunderbolt and Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good actor.
Yeah, very good.
You have Melody Patterson, who did a lot of TV shows like F Troop
and Hawaii Five-0.
And her husband was Dano in Hawaii Five-0.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, Gloria Grahame.
Yeah, she was in a lot of big films. She was in It's a Wonderful Life. She was in Oklahoma in The Big Heat.
And she won Best Supporting Actress for The Bad and the Beautiful in 1952. And she was only in that film for 9 minutes.
Wow, that says a lot for her ability.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in It's a Wonderful Life.
I know.
I mean, everybody's seen that.
Exactly, yeah.
And last but not least, you have Len Lesser.
Yes, and I think, again, most of us remember him as Uncle Leo.
Yes. Now, he was in the film Ruby that we presented last month, but unfortunately has been removed. But he was also in The Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah, he was in Kelly's Heroes, too.
And, yeah, it's funny. That's mostly how people remember him as Uncle Leo.
Yeah, from Seinfeld.
Yes. Now, this was directed by who?
This is Philip S. Gilbert. And this really was his only major movie. Yeah.
You know, the thing is, I think if he would have had a little bit more financing for this, it would have been filmed maybe a little better. But it's very creative.
It really is. Like I said, it does have some grindhouse feel to it, you know, especially in the beginning. Starts with a bang.
Oh, yeah.
So it does have some of that feel to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the weirdness has yet to accumulate.
It gets weirder.
It gets weirder.
It really does. Yeah, it does. And as far as the music, we're going to wait to the end to discuss that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think we're off to a good start.
Yeah, we are. So let's get back to Blood and Lace.
Please. I'm thirsty.
Oh, yes, Jennifer. I have water.
I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. I promise.
I'm sure you'll never do it again, Jennifer. But you're going to stay in detention, so the other children will learn by your example. We were very fortunate, you know. When Tom caught you, he could have.
He wanted to kill me.
Tom was very angry at you. It was lucky I was there. I saved your life. And did you say thanks? Well?
Thank you. Thank you.
That was nice. You're important to me, Jennifer. All the children are important to me. Oh, yes, the water. It's so cold and clear. And sweet.
I used to dream about a girl strolling the woods. There was never anybody to do it with. I'm very glad you came, Ellie.
I'm not going to be here for long, Walter.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm going to run away the first chance I get. You help me.
I can't help you, Ellie.
You could if you wanted.
You can't run away, Ellie. You wouldn't stand a chance.
Other kids did.
They were boys, Ellie. They could take care of themselves in the woods. Besides, it's not really that bad living in the home.
Then you're blind. Jennifer's dying in the attic, and that stupid witch is starving us to death.
But we get enough to eat.
Walter, I did see 3 kids in the infirmary the first day I got here.
I told you, Ellie, we were all outside for Mr. Mullins' inspection. Now you're just blowing this all out of shape. And Jennifer, she'll be okay, too. Mrs. Deere's a little strict, that's all.
Tom Craig, he gives me the creeps.
He was a harmless lush. A starving hobo before Mrs. Deere took him in. Ellie.
I can't stand being cooped up in one place. I never could. Besides, I've got to find my father.
What for? What good's it going to do you, Ellie?
Well, maybe you got folks somewhere. Don't you want to know?
Know what?
Well, you got a mother and you got a father. And you're a little bit of both of them. You can look at them and see what you're going to be.
Maybe it's better not to know.
Well, I've got to. There's got to be something better than my mother. Maybe my father was strong and kind.
Probably just some horny salesman.
You're horrible.
Did you ever stop to think that maybe it's horrible to find out, Ellie? You know, I'm kind of glad I never knew my folks. It's because I've got nothing to live up to or down. I'm just me, Ellie, and that's all I care about.
That is all you care about.
Cooped up in this old house out in the middle of nowhere. Doesn't it get to you?
That isn't exactly my doing.
Have you got the feeling you kind of want to get away?
Hardly more than all the time.
And now you can.
Can what?
Escape.
Is part of your job trying to see who wants to run?
Well, if you're not interested.
Okay, I am.
We can't talk here. Meet me in the cellar.
Cellar?
That's where I keep my tools. No one will see us talking. Here, hold it.
No.
Take it so I can get down.
No, I'm afraid of busting.
I won't bite. It's just a hammer. Take it.
What are you doing here? Have you finished your chores?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Then why are you dawdling, boy?
Well, you told me once that if I ever saw anything that looked suspicious, I should come and report it to you.
Well?
Well, I was outside a few minutes ago, and I saw something I think you ought to know about.
How'd you get in here?
And through a window. I don't want anybody to know we're down here together.
You better tell me what you got in mind.
If I show you a way to escape, what'll you do for me?
Anything you want.
You promise?
After you show me.
A deal. Here it is. The Great Escape. Whiskey.
You bastard! You
You'll be punished for this, Ellie. Tom, come here. I know what you've been up to.
He tricked me into coming down here.
I'll deal with you later, Ellie. Go to your room.
You don't understand.
Ellie!
Hey, what really happened was I caught her fooling around the freezer and...
You're a liar and a stupid one at that. She doesn't suspect anything about the freezer. You've had your last warning.
You're right, lady, I have. From now on, you keep your mouth shut.
You're fired. Get out of here.
No, I'm not fired. Matter of fact, you and me just became partners. From now on, I'm in for 50% of the action.
You're in for nothing but trouble if you don't leave my house.
If I leave here, I'll take our little secret with me. Only when I get through, it won't be a secret.
You're not that stupid. You'd implicate yourself.
You're looking at a man who has nothing to lose. Of course, if it's worth having, I've already lost it. It's you and me, 50-50. You will own 0.
All right, Tom. If that's the way it has to be. Please, stop your whimpering. You're a witch. A crazy witch. You weren't entirely at fault, Ellie. Otherwise, I'd really punish you.
Like Jennifer in the attic?
Jennifer tried to run away, and I was advised to punish her.
By who? God?
My husband, Jameson, always advised me and counseled me.
I thought he was dead.
He's not living, but that doesn't mean he's dead. Science is making marvelous progress with drugs and transplants. Someday, people who have passed away before their time will be restored. Like my husband and others. If we preserve their bodies. So you see, Ellie, what you call death may be only the temporary absence of life.
You don't really care if Jennifer lives or dies.
Everything's so simple when you're young, isn't it? Black and white, good and bad, life and death. Youth and beauty. You children are so fortunate.
And you hate us for it, don't you?
On the contrary, Ellie. I'd like to preserve you all, just as you are.
Walter.
Ellie, I did an awful thing. I was the one that told Mrs. Deere that you were in the cellar of Tom Critch.
Why?
I was jealous, I guess. It's pretty dumb, isn't it, being jealous of Tom?
Yes. Now you can clean up the shed. Hey, I can use this when I run away. The old witch took mine.
Is there anything in it?
Walter, how many girls have you made love to?
Hundreds.
That's what I thought.
What the hell difference does it make?
You get into town once in a while. You could have patronized my mother.
Ellie, for crying out loud.
Oh, I knew a lot of her clients. The mailman, the postman, Mr. Samuels, the banker.
Ellie, how can you talk about your own mother that way?
Sometimes I'd hear them come in late at night, laughing and giggling. And then later I'd hear them thrashing around. And I used to lie there in my bed and wonder.
Wonder what?
Wonder what it would have been like to have had a real father. Not a stepfather, not a foster father, but a real blood relation.
Maybe it's better not to know.
Mother wouldn't even talk about him. You know, she wouldn't even tell me who he was. The only thing she ever said was that the first man who made love to her got her pregnant and ruined her figure. But the only feelings that she ever had for me was blame. Oh, you know, Walter, maybe you're right. Maybe it is best not to know.
Not to know what?
That you're just some poor accidental bastard that nobody even wanted.
Well, if it isn't the answer to a maiden's prayer. I thought I'd get a little bit of sun before class this afternoon.
I don't think Mrs. D ought to catch you in that outfit.
What makes you so damn good, Walter?
Maybe your age.
Ellie's only a couple of years older than I am.
Come back in a couple of years and we'll talk about it.
Boy, you dumb. Can't you see what she is?
No, Bunch. What is Ellie?
You know, strange. She's a big tease. Anybody can see that.
All girls tease, Bunch. It's just part of the equipment. Look at you.
I wish you would, Walter. Well?
Yeah, it's all there.
I know I shouldn't worry about money, but losing that $150 on Ernest could mean the difference between profit and loss. If we lose another child, it could be the end. I mean, there's the mortgage to pay and the food. So many problems. Money, the children running away, and now Tom Critch. Yes, I suppose I'll have to get rid of him, just as you say. Oh,
I'm so worn out from all these responsibilities. Oh, but I am grateful for your help, Jameson.
I don't know. I think she had a bad dream. Ellie, did you have a nightmare?
What's wrong?
I saw the hammer. This horrible,
Horrible what?
face.
It was a nightmare, of course.
I don't know. It seems so real.
Ellie, have you had nightmares since your mother?
Yes.
Well, that's that. All right, girls, back to bed. There's nothing to be afraid of, Ellie. It was a bad dream, wasn't it? A bad dream.
That's all wrong for you.
How would you know what's wrong or right for me?
Well, I do know that looks like something out of a carnival sideshow. Let me help you.
Oh, look, will you just leave me alone? I really don't need any of that big sister stuff.
Okay. But a girl your age shouldn't be wearing makeup anyway.
Oh, yes, a girl my age. You're so mature and wise.
Bunch, why do you hate me? Walter was never interested in you, even before I got here.
I'll make him interested.
Oh, I'm sure you can make Walter. But you'll never interest him.
Ellie, where's my hammer?
How should I know?
You had it in the cellar.
Well, then that's where it is.
Only it isn't.
It isn't? I had a dream. I saw a hammer. No wonder it looks so real. It wasn't a dream.
Now, Pete, can you remember what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, but what is this, a senior play?
You just go find Walter and tell him what I told you.
Okay.
Then what do you do?
Exactly 10 minutes after Walter gets to the shed, I tell Ellie that Walter wants to see him in the shed right away.
Good. Now get going.
Okay. Hey, Walter.
Yeah.
Bunch is over at the shed.
So?
She says she's got something to show you.
What is it?
You've got to see it to believe it.
Walter, I've decided.
Elliot.
Don't worry, Walter. You and your little slut can have each other. I'm clearing out. Let her go, Walter.
But I think she's gonna run away.
Good.
But I don't want her to go.
Mrs. Deere, it's Ellie. You've got to stop her.
Walter, every time I see you, you've got some hot news about Ellie. What is it this time?
She's going to run away.
Who told you?
She did.
Someone tried to kill me last night, and I know who.
It was just a dream.
That was no dream. There was a man in my room.
And where is this man now?
I don't know. Maybe he's still in the house.
Stop it!
I'm not staying here to be killed by some maniac.
And where would you go that this maniac you've imagined couldn't find you?
I don't know. Maybe the police.
All right, Ellie.
Mrs. Deere? Mrs. Deere? Mrs. Deere? Mrs. Deere, please let me out of here. Mrs. Deere? Please, you've got to let me out of here.
I knew that girl was trouble.
You're gonna let her run away. The hell with the money.
Suppose she goes to the police with a wild story about a killer hiding in the house. What do you suppose would happen?
Yeah, we have cops all over the place.
There's only one thing to do. Walter knows Ellie wants to go. And by now, all the children know. So nobody's surprised when she shows up absent.
Sure. Just like our friends in the freezer.
I'll keep all the children outside. So you and Ellie won't be disturbed.
Okay. What about that welfare guy, Mullins?
Next time he comes, we'll simply show him Ellie Masters in the infirmary. Poor dear. She caught a cold.
I want to talk to you.
Why, Harold, what a surprise.
To save the crap, you made a fool out of me.
Oh, I don't know what you mean.
You said Ernest was the only kid that ever ran away from here.
That's right.
Yeah, but somebody told the police there've been a whole lot of others.
Shh, Harold, the children.
How the hell with the children? The hell with you. I got a job at stake.
Let's talk about it in the house. No. Let's take a walk.
I don't want to take a walk. Let's go into the house. But this time I want to speak to every single kid.
Well, of course, Harold, whatever you say.
And they'd better all be there.
Certainly. You'll see them all, every one.
Pete, I think you're finally cracked.
I saw it. It happened.
In your mind, you mean?
In the cellar, I mean. He put her in the freezer and he locked it. Bonchelli's going to die in there.
I'm not falling for your corny joke. Go tell it to Mrs. Deere.
Are you kidding? Tom works for her. They're probably in on this together.
What an imagination.
Bunch, you've got to go to the cellar with me. I'm too scared to go by myself.
That's ridiculous.
Maybe you're scared, too.
Okay, I'll play your game.
Do you hear that?
No, I don't hear a thing.
That pounding, you can't hear it?
I don't have time for your dumb jokes, little boy. And you better mind your own business, because you know Miss Deere doesn't like us down
But I
here.
saw them.
You're just trying to get me in trouble.
Tom, Mr. Mullins doesn't seem to feel we run a proper home here. He wants to inspect it again.
From top to bottom.
Be better from bottom to top.
Yes, Tom. Good idea. Start with the cellar, Harold. Tom will guide you.
I want to see every nook and cranny in this house.
Oh, you will.
And then I want to talk to each child alone.
You may find some of them aren't very talkative.
I'll take that chance.
This way, Mr. Mullins.
I was trying to get in there.
You know you're not allowed in the cellar. Now get out of here. Go outside with the other kids. Go on.
Why was he so anxious to break this open?
Beats me. Crazy kid. It's a cold room for meat storage. Let's get to work on those nooks and crannies.
Where's Pete? Where's
Well,
Pete?
here he comes, right here.
Where were you?
I want to see the inside of this thing.
Well, sure, only I don't have a key.
Then you better get it, Craig.
Sure. You wait right here, Mr. Mullins. He wants in the freezer.
Then that's where we'll put him.
Come on, come on. I haven't got forever.
But Harold, that's exactly what you do have.
Whoever you are, you're a dead woman.
She tried to kill me.
See, I told you I wasn't making it up.
She's got the bodies of the kids who tried to run away in the freezer. She murdered them. Look, all of you, run! Run away. This is your only chance. Run!
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Go where, Pete?
You're gonna leave me in here to die.
Why, Tom, you won't die. Not in here. We're just going to chill your blood and stop the bleeding.
Please, don't leave me in here.
But, Tom, all your friends are here.
That's right, Calvin. Last week, I found the body of a man near your mother's house. He was burned and his face was smashed to a pulp. It wasn't hard to figure out, Ellie. He was in bed with your mother that night. But you didn't kill him and he managed to crawl away. Oh, you said you never saw the hammer, but I thought it was kind of funny you'd have nightmares about it unless you did. When you learned that the man wasn't found with your mother, you knew he got away. So you decided to pin everything on him.
He was just another one of Mother's clients.
I figured you knew you smashed his face in pretty good and you made a fugitive out of him. So you might be afraid he'd be out for revenge.
Back at the house, they tried to kill me.
I thought there was something fishy about that Miss Deer in her house, so I thought I'd do some snooping around. I got the idea I would use you as bait. I'd scare you into running off. Just see what they would do. Well, I found out.
You're so clever, Calvin. False face and all.
This is nothing but theatrical makeup, that's all. Come on.
What's gonna happen to me now?
Well, that's up to you, Ellie. You don't think I would want anything to happen to you, do you?
What do you mean?
Well, I figure we could become friends. Very good friends. Now that we've gotten to know each other so well.
Don't you want to arrest me?
Arrest you? No, Ellie, I want to marry you.
Marry me?
Yeah. No one would have to know what I know.
You mean you wouldn't say anything?
Not if you're my wife. Wouldn't be loyal.
And if I'm not?
Be ashamed to see that pretty little neck in a hangman's noose.
Would they really hang me?
I'd say at least life imprisonment.
No, I couldn't stand that.
Well, you have a choice.
Calvin, you are corrupt.
Well, evil breeds evil, honey. How about it?
Mother always said that older men made the best husbands.
I bet your mother never told you that I was the first one to make love to her.
Well, did you see that ending coming?
The end was totally shocking to me. Didn't predict that at all.
When we first watched this, and we've watched hundreds of movies, we didn't see that outcome.
No, we can usually predict the end, usually. But we were both like, oh, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, number one, she's the killer.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I had no inkling.
No.
Number two, that's her dad.
Exactly.
And he knows that she killed her mother, but he doesn't know that he's her dad.
Right. Yeah, he's basically blackmailing her into
like,
marrying him. And what does he really think his fate is going to be? She's the killer.
Eventually, they're going to make a trip to George's Hardware.
Right. She's going to get a new hammer.
Right. She's going to put up some pictures, and he's going to bed, and she's going to get his pension.
Right. Exactly.
That's what's going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we had said about Vic Tayback, it's like he's like Telly Savalas' little brother.
He is. It's just his looks.
Yes.
Reminds us of Telly Savalas. And we love Telly Savalas.
Oh, love Telly.
Yeah.
But could you imagine them two in a movie?
Oh, that would be fantastic.
You don't want me to get my brother.
That'd be
trouble.
That would be fantastic. And he's running around with that mask on, and he's got these moves that remind me of John Belushi in Animal House.
Yes.
I can't help but see that.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, what's up with the mask? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like Freddy Krueger.
It's weird.
It's way weird.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of weird, you had Big Walt. He ain't no player.
He doesn't know how to talk to girls. He's been with hundreds of lovers. Hundreds. That's his number.
He would have done better picking up that old busted guitar up And trying to play some, Kenny Loggins on there.
Loggins and Messina. Something.
Something.
I mean, everything he said was wrong.
Wrong,
yeah.
But, Bunch was still interested in his rap.
She was. Yeah, she was.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. There's nobody cool in this movie either.
Only Pete.
Pete was cool.
He's the
That's
only one.
Right. I take that back.
That's trying to help. He's the only one, and no one wants to hear it.
No. I mean, Len Lesser, he's trying to get with Melody.
They're all trying to get with Melody. They are. And he plays that. He has that creepy vibe. It just.
He looks creepy.
Plays it. Yeah, he does. Yeah, and he plays it so well.
Gloria Grahame, she's fixing the business of the state guy.
Yeah, she's doing some favors for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she has her husband, along with some other, kids, in the freezer, right? Because she's like, well, they're gonna, science is gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna reanimate him.
He's coming back.
Yeah.
And he's still talking to her and giving her advice. It's just crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Now, then you have the girl in the attic, who's been up there for who knows how long. Water.
Yeah.
That made me thirsty.
Yeah, it did. I'm like, drinking more.
Yeah. Now, let's discuss the music.
Yes, and we wanted to wait to the end.
Yes.
To talk about it. The music is all public domain.
Yes.
And some of it works very well. Some of it does. But there are moments, of course, you hear that theremin going on.
Right.
Sounds like the aliens are coming down. And there's points where I'm waiting for Abbott and Costello to come out.
Yes. With the mummy chasing them.
Right, exactly. So it's kind of hit and miss. And we found that out early in the movie, so we couldn't unhear that.
Yes.
We didn't want to ruin it for anyone.
Yeah, because, the music is always very important to us in a film. But that's the thing. This is 1971, so the public domain music was from the 40s and 50s and somewhat 60s.
Yeah.
But
so it doesn't always fit.
It's kind of dated.
Yeah.
But when it does work, it's great.
Yeah.
But there's those moments where it's almost jarring.
Yeah. So if you go back and watch it again, it definitely has a different feel to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about this film is this is a forgotten film.
It truly is.
But you know what? I think it's still good.
I enjoyed this. And
Yes.
I enjoyed all the acting. I don't think there was anything wrong with it, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And, sometimes these drive-in movies don't get the credit that they deserve.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah.
And this was made on a low budget, but everybody enjoyed making this film. We read about it and that nobody had a bad time.
Right. And we enjoyed watching this. I mean, we really had a lot of fun watching this movie.
Absolutely. Like we said, we didn't figure out the ending.
Yeah.
And that's...
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often.
Because it's so crazy, you don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. It was definitely enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really was. And we thank you for being here with us at Newcastle After Dark. We hope you join us again for Lost Treasure in Cinema. And until next time,
good night.